Hey everybody, this is Dara Connolly, your fearless confidence coach who helps you speak up to be heard, kick fear to the curb, and be TEDx confident. I'm a TEDx speaker, author, and award-winning confidence coach who's helped thousands. And I'm so excited for this video today. This is brand new content you haven't heard me say before on how to speak assertively at work. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do it. All right, let's jump right in. I'm going to be giving you my top 3 tips, and I'm really excited. I'm going to take a peek at my notes here so don't miss anything because this is invaluable content. And you're going to definitely want to stay till the end. So tip number 1, when we think about assertiveness at work, is to be calm. We got to stay calm. You know, you've heard me probably say this before, but the calmest person in the room holds the cards, holds the power. So how do we take this to the next level is you do not show emotion. You may feel it, but we cannot get frazzled. We cannot lose our temper. We can't lose our cool. We can't throw things or smash things or yell or scream or cry. We can do that behind closed doors. But when we're in front of people, especially at work, we remain calm. And so when we speak with assertiveness, we keep the emotion out of it and we just state the facts. Just the facts. Remember that the dragnet, just the facts, man? Here we go. State the facts, be direct, use factual, precise language. So for example, you're feeling a little stressed at work. That's a normal thing. Oftentimes we lose it and we snap at somebody. What I want you to do is stay calm and use language that only conveys the facts. I need this report by 3 p.m. Or I won't be attending that meeting. Just the facts. Or I don't have time to come in on Saturday. When we speak this way without emotion and just the facts, we show confidence and we show assertiveness. We don't have to be cruel. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to shout it to say it. That's not showing assertiveness. A lot of times people get this wrong. They think if they speak louder that they're being assertive, or if they stand up and change their body language and look threatening. Okay, that helps this much. What I want you to do is convey it through the way you say it. Stoic, non-emotive, just the facts. If you want to be polite and friendly, you could still smile when you say it. I need this report by 3 o'clock. That's it. That's assertiveness. Okay, number 2, you definitely haven't heard this one before, is that especially if you're a woman in the workplace and we're struggling to show assertiveness because it's a really volatile environment where we're not heard or seen. Has that happened to you? Yeah. Be consistent. Every time you speak up, you're going to be consistent. You see, assertiveness and confidence go together, but what sets it apart is consistency. If you're in a meeting and people expect you to give your monthly status report, do it the same way every week. Show consistency. This shows confidence in your ability and that you're reliable and we can count on you. Now, you may be thinking, well, how does that cross over to assertiveness? Well, assertiveness and confidence are like good cousins, first cousins. And when you show consistency and you do things in a very predictable, confident way, now people begin to have trust in you and they know when they call on you that you're reliable and that you're going to respond a certain way. So let's say you often get talked over in a meeting and you're frustrated because you want your ideas to be heard. We're going to be consistent in the way we speak. So we can do our body language and sit up tall and make the eye contact. That's phenomenal. Now let's go to the next step and be very consistent with the language. It's important for me to say this point. It's important for me to share this. Now we get attention and we say what we're going to say, but what I want you to do is do this every time you start to get talked over again. Hold on a second, John. It's important for me to share this point. You're going to be like a broken record here. You're going to be like a parrot. It's going to feel silly to repeat yourself, but consistency is key. Consistency is assertiveness. Because when people hear us say things in a similar pattern every time, and they know we're not going to buckle from that, they will begin to respect you and they will hear what you're saying. So return to the phrase, be precise on the words you choose and repeat it as often as you need to. And people will begin to see you as a person they respect. You have to trust me on this. So when you get talked over, hold on a second. It's important for me to share this point. And then you do that again. You say it every time you need to. You'll notice that people who are confident carry themselves in a predictable way. They're not sporadic or frantic. They're calm, which was tip number 1, and consistent and predictable. So you're already paralleling assertiveness with confidence. Okay, now you're not going to want to miss tip 3. And before we get to it, this is a good time to remind you to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so you're notified when I publish new content. And if you haven't yet grabbed your free confidence tips, you'll want to do so by clicking the link below. Okay, let's move on to tip number 3 on how to speak assertively at work. And this is to be no nonsense. You've heard me say in other videos to not be dramatic or emotional or overly flamboyant, especially if you want to be assertive. You see, assertiveness is a very specific tone to it. It's not goofy. It's not silly. It's not aloof. It could be playful by adding a smile, but if you want to really convey, I mean business here, knock it off, the smile goes away and it's no nonsense. So think about how you're conveying the way you speak your words. Assertiveness is stoic and direct. Assertiveness is not someone who, an assertive person is not someone who easily gets frazzled or changes their mind or shakes their attitude because of what other people say. They know exactly what they want and they are no nonsense about it. So I want you to practice assertiveness in front of a mirror, or practice in front of your phone and record yourself, or practice in front of a good friend. This is not something you can just wish to happen, or you can't meditate on being more assertive. You have to literally practice it. So practice in front of a safe person where you can think about how you're saying what you say and notice, are you staying calm? Or does your face give away an angry or disapproving gesture? Because you don't want to do that. You want to be very calm. And then notice the language you're using and see if you can be consistent in repeating those powerful words and be no nonsense in your approach. Now, when you do this in front of a mirror, you may notice that you have certain habits. You may kind of move your head or look away or break the eye contact, or maybe even fidget a little bit. So we want to be very careful of those nonverbal communicators and make sure there's no fidgeting, there's no smirking, there's no giggles or awkward gestures or facial expressions, because if you do that, you will lose the power of your assertiveness. So to recap, assertiveness is always calm. No matter what's going on around you, you can still convey confidence and power by staying calm. Assertiveness is being consistent with your language, repeating the phrase as many times as you need to for the person to really hear it. And the third tip is to be no nonsense. We're not going to use humor or any emotions, or this is not the time to be half silly. You want the person to take you seriously, then be serious when you're speaking. So now that I've taught you some tips on how to speak assertively at work, you're going to want to watch my next video, which is on how to speak your mind and be assertive. So go ahead and click the link for that video. In the meantime, take a peek at the link below for DaraConnollyCLUB, where I post all sorts of videos on how to exude confidence, speak up to bullies, and to really take yourself and your business to the next level by using confident body language and confident speaking. Click the link below for DaraConnollyCLUB. I can't wait to hear from you. And until then, you are amazing.